Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Making a Difference in Mental Health. I'm Danielle.
I'm Wendy.
Wendy, we're doing a self-care episode today, but it
Yes.
is for the holidays.
Yes, the holidays are here.
Yes.
And the stress is up here.
Yes.
And so now we're doing a segment to just remind our audience things that you can do, easy tips to help survive the holidays.
Yes, self-care edition. So we're going to go ahead and get right into it.
Yep.
The first thing when it comes to self-care, specifically for this particular time in our life, is avoid discussing politics over dinner or over Thanksgiving, Christmas dinner, different holiday. Just kind of avoid it.
Yeah, you might have people walk out the door. So, you don't want all your hard work and cooking and preparing and prepping the dinner table to go awry. So just don't talk about politics.
Yeah,
just set those boundaries.
Yes. Create the boundaries. And, the reason why we say this too is because, again, we are in 2024. There are going to be a number of transitions coming into 2025. We are at the end of 2024. This is the fall winter season. And so 2025, we don't really know what's going to happen exactly, but we have heard and seen through the news that we're in a high pressure, high stress time. And that is just the reality of this time. So just create the boundaries.
And those are things you can do ahead of time. So before your guests arrive, let them know what the rules are around your home and your dinner table, that this is not a topic of conversation. My advice, keep to the football.
Keep to the football. Wendy, let me tell you, Wendy always has a football analogy, a football solution. Just stick to the football.
Stick to the football.
Right. And number two is just kind of adjust your expectations around the holidays as well. Again, there may be some things that you're either used to or not used to, or there may be some traditions that just happen to change. And it is okay to adjust those. We do have to evolve. We do have to, sometimes accept change. And so just be okay with adjusting expectation.
Right. I mean, I've talked to a number of people who are just not following tradition. They're gathering and they're being thankful together, but they're just not following the tradition of a Thanksgiving dinner. They're doing something new. Some people are just like, we're going to hang out at the mall. Some people are going to the movies. Some people are getting takeout. And, all those changes are fine. Do whatever feels good for you and the people that are sharing that day with you.
And our next on the list is a one-word sentence. No. Be okay with saying no. And I know for me, sometimes that is actually really hard.
It's hard for a lot of people actually to say no because you feel guilty and you're trying to be nice and you don't want to be mean. But when you say no, you're self-caring. And it's okay to be selfish and self-care at times.
Yeah. And that's the whole point of this whole series is how to survive the holiday self-care edition. So sometimes if we happen to say yes, or if we happen to kind of go above and beyond when it comes for everyone else, they're fulfilled. Their cup is full, but we can't pour from an empty cup.
Right.
And sometimes that no will save us from kind of depleting ourselves.
Right. So, it's like that analogy. If you're, in a plane and then something's happening, you've got to put your mask on first before you can help others.
Right.
So just remember, it's okay to say no.
Yes. Next is setting quality time. And that's quality time for you. Yeah. Set quality time for yourself. Whatever that entails, and it's quality to you, if you're fulfilled, if you feel refreshed, rejuvenated, that's quality time for you.
Football never hurts.
Yeah. This next one is something that statistically we do see during this time of year, during the latter half of the year, where we experience grief of some kind. It's either present grief, it could be memories of a grief or a loss, but it is important when it comes to your self-care to acknowledge that grief.
Yeah. So therefore, when you're taking quality time, you might need it just to, process the grief. And that's okay too.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And then I think finally there's the survival kit, right? The self-care kit. And when you hear that, you're like, well, what is that? Well, it's kind of like a first aid kit, but things that you can do for yourself. to take care of yourself. And so those things include, you know, deep breathing, meditation, music, exercise, go out and throw the football in your backyard.
Of course.
That's a Thanksgiving tradition. Always fun to do that. And just practicing relaxation, really trying to take this time off to just really de-stress. And then finally, the thing that you and I always talk about, sleep hygiene.
Yes.
You're a terrible sleeper. I'm up and down depending on what's going on in my life, but sleep hygiene is so essential to help survive the holidays and pace yourself.
Yeah.
People are cooking and decorating and it can get overwhelming. So just pace yourself. There's no right way to do all of this. The way is your way.
Yeah.
And so remember that.
Yes. We've been talking about sleep hygiene, I think, since season 1.
Yes.
It's a process for those who, I guess, sometimes need to settle down because of stimulation during the day. I'm definitely one of those type of people where I'm just always thinking, or there's always new ideas, or I get excited really easily. And then when it's time to settle, it's really hard.
Your brain races.
Right. My brain races. But here's what is not healthy, and I have to do better with self-care, is that when I am finally able to settle down, it's a crash. And so we don't want a crash. We want to properly practice, again, sleep hygiene. And I'll add a bonus in there.
Okay.
The bonus really would be for the holiday season, create a new tradition. I don't know what your new tradition would be, but create something new, something fun, something fulfilling, and something that you can kind of either laugh about or tell stories about for all the holidays to come.
Exactly. Something you can pass down that's just, you know, not complex, not stressful.
Yeah.
So yeah, I like that.
Yes.
Create a new tradition.
So this has been How to Survive the Holiday Self-Care Edition. We hope that you all enjoy the holiday season. Wendy, anything else you want to say before we go?
No, just keep watching football.
That's Wendy's whole self-care solution kit is football. You know what? I'm not even mad at it. I'm not mad at it at all. I'm Danielle.
I'm Wendy.
This is Making a Difference in Mental Health. We're always striving to make a difference in mental health. See you next time.
Enjoy the holidays.
Bye.